Formula One is a brutal sport. They say you're only as good as your last result, so the question that constantly comes to my mind, why is Sergio Perez still driving for Red Bull? He has been nowhere close to his teammate, and he has performed much worse than others that arguably have worse cars than he does. Can Sergio Perez bounce back? Does he deserve to continue in Formula One? Or is his time up? Sometimes I don't fully understand what Red Bull are thinking. There have been countless times over the past year when I was certain that Red Bull would be dropping Perez just to see him continue on as their second driver. I truly don't think Perez can redeem himself in that seat anymore, and I think it's just a matter of time until he loses it completely. Sit back, hit that subscribe button, grab some popcorn, and let's dive in. The recent sacking of Daniel Ricciardo at VCARB led to the inevitable argument that Sergio Perez is just as, if not more worthy to lose his seat. Sergio Perez has been racing with Red Bull for 4 seasons now and has a contract for next season as well. In 2021, he did play an important role in helping Max Verstappen win the Drivers' Championship, helping defend against Hamilton on multiple occasions throughout the year. But ever since 2021, Perez is nowhere near the level he was at. In 2024, Perez has been outqualified by his teammate Max Verstappen in 17 out of the 18 races so far. The only race Perez managed to get the upper hand on Verstappen in qualifying was at Baku, and even then he ended up in the barriers at the end of the race after colliding with Carlos Sainz. In 2023, there were already talks about Perez being replaced by one of the VCARB drivers, but nothing came of it. That year, Max outqualified Sergio Perez 20-2 and also outperformed him in Grand Prix 20 out of the 22 times. This is a huge disparity between two drivers in the same car, a car that was extremely dominant. However, Red Bull decided to give themselves more time to see how things play out. At the beginning of the summer break in 2024, we felt certain that Perez would be getting dropped. Back then, everyone figured it would be Daniel Ricciardo replacing Perez, which in hindsight is quite sad to think about, seeing as Daniel is no longer on the grid. But time and time again, Perez somehow manages to hold on to his seat. For years now, he has not kept that seat due to his performance. He's constantly being outperformed by Max Verstappen, and he is being beaten by other drivers that are in far less capable cars. He's causing the team millions in damage, and in 2024 is costing them the Constructors' Championship because he is not scoring enough points. He only has 144 points all season and is in 8th place in the Drivers' Championship, while his teammate Max Verstappen is in 1st place with 331 points. This is a huge difference, and if Perez were extracting more from the car, Red Bull would comfortably be able to win the Constructors' Championship. Perez is just not performing at a high enough level. If Red Bull do finally decide to bite the bullet and drop Sergio Perez, who could be potentially replacing him in that second Red Bull seat? Well, Red Bull is lucky enough that they have a huge pool of eager drivers that would love to have a chance to show what they're capable of in that seat alongside Max Verstappen. So let's say that in theory Red Bull decide to drop Perez. What options would they have then? Well, Red Bull have actually been bottlenecking a lot of their developmental drivers for years because of Perez. Red Bull is one of the teams on the grid that also has a second team, the team we know as VCARB. VCARB is meant to be a developmental team for drivers to hone their craft before they get their shot at the main Red Bull seat. In 2023, they wanted to give a shot to Nick De Vries in the VCARB, and he lasted half a season before he was replaced by Ricciardo, who unfortunately broke his wrist during his first race back and was forced to be replaced by Liam Lawson for a couple races. Liam Lawson did amazingly during his short stint with VCARB, or AlphaTauri as it was then known, but had to give his seat back to Daniel Ricciardo once Daniel was healed. Add to this the fact that Red Bull also has an F2 team where they are working on developing drivers. This forces drastic quick decisions to constantly be made about driver lineups at Red Bull because they have too many drivers and too little seats. Formula One is a sport where money plays a huge role, and because of this, Red Bull are pushed to keep on Japanese driver Yuki Tsunoda to please their engine manufacturer, Honda. Yuki has been with VCARB since 2021 and has not had any stellar performances. He was the second driver to Pierre Gasly until 2023 when he became the lead driver, but has not outperformed either of his teammates since. Of course, every driver at VCARB wants to end up at Red Bull, and this is also Yuki's goal, although it seems Red Bull aren't prioritizing putting either of their VCARB drivers into that top seat. Perez is a liability for Red Bull. Yes, he has a massive fan following in Mexico. Yes, he brings in a lot of money, but he's also costing the team a lot of money in damages and in potential points that could have been won by the team. Red Bull had no issue cutting Daniel Ricciardo, and now it feels like Perez is next. These last few races could be a test run for Liam Lawson, to see how he performs in that V-carb and to see if he can be moved right up to the main Red Bull seat alongside Max Verstappen. We have seen other young rookies hop into top F1 cars and perform well this season, so Red Bull may be looking to do the same thing. They have options, they just need to rip the bandage off and let Perez go. Red Bull are extremely lucky that they've been able to mask Perez's poor performances due to the fact that they had a rocket ship of a car and Max Verstappen's ability to carry the team on his own. Now, things aren't quite as simple anymore. The car isn't quite as fast, other teams have caught up, Max Verstappen isn't able to dominate every race like he had in the past couple seasons. There just isn't such a huge gap anymore between the teams. This is where Red Bull needs their second driver to be producing, and Perez just isn't. If Perez doesn't manage to quickly fix these issues, Red Bull won't accept him underperforming for much longer. They have more than enough people lining up to be able to get a chance in that car and help the team succeed. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and share with your friends. Let me know down in the comments below whether you think Perez will be continuing next season or if he just has a couple of races left before Red Bull officially drop him. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.